This is our last and final app. I told you this would be fast, didn't we? This is Ben Wolstenholme. He comes from London. And he and his friend were sitting around beer, I was told one night, and thought, we should do this app. What are you showing us tonight?
Yeah, we were drinking.
Yeah, you were drinking. I didn't want to add that part. But
In a pub in London.
It's like the Lennon and McCartney
And we
model.
got talking about comics, and we thought, it's a shame they're dying away. You know, why aren't they working on these devices? So
you mean like Marvel Comics?
Marvel, DC, typically, yeah. Dark Horse, and a lot of independents who don't get seen.
Well, you know, Clark Kent recently resigned from journalism in a recent Superman issue because the money is so bad.
I didn't.
So I'll give you 20 seconds just because I got to say that. Here, but keep
okay,
going.
good. So
you've got a video?
So I'm here from Madefire, and Madefire is all about storytelling. And the exciting thing is we've built a browser-based publishing platform that creates what we're calling motion books. And motion books are a different type of reading experience, and they come down to the Madefire app. So we really felt like this is smarter than a piece of paper, so we should do reading that can go beyond the printed page.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So there's a set of comic titles that you have, and they're not quite animation, they're not quite video, there's some kind of new media. And you also are announcing today a platform that people can do to create their own things.
Yes.
Media.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you call it? Moving media.
We've been calling them motion books.
Motion books.
We were really passionate about staying within reading, so we want to make sure that it's a reading experience, but like, how could we push to the edge of reading? So not watching, not playing, but reading. So the platform, which Gina's talking about, is browser-based, which I think is incredibly exciting because the creators who make this stuff are all over the world. They work out of their bedrooms, they work out of small studios. So to have a browser-based tool means writers, artists, and creators can come together and publish books anywhere. The tool's free. So it really should open up a new wave of storytelling.
It's interesting, and we'll get back to this, but the way that this was built in Objective-C, I mean, when you create these things, it's almost like putting together a PowerPoint. And the app developers, I mean, maybe we could ask Ross, your CTO, some questions about that. You want to have them see the video so they understand what they're
that'd
what
be
you're
great.
talking about? It's hard to describe.
Yeah, just to say we started in the genre of comics and graphic novels, but I think you'll be able to see that this is all about words and pictures and making reading kind of short form and more visual. So hopefully Jimmy's got a video.
Jimmy.
I'm not going to try and talk over it. It's too violent, so I'll
too violent. And the
back.
reason it's so violent is because, I know this, Britt told me this.
Well, we wanted
Dave Gibson from Watchmen
Dave Gibbons
involved. That's
from
why
Watchmen
it's
is one of the team, so we're really lucky that very lucky that we have him involved. So, and he's had a long career. He's a 65-year-old guy using the tool, making a new type of comic book on Madefire. And then it's been kind of, once he signed up, a lot of people said, oh, okay, can't be that crazy, let's have a go. So
he did this treatment for you.
Yeah, so I'm going to show a bit of treatment after this video.
Pop it up. This is the last one, everybody. And after that, you party.
Hopefully loud.
And you want to sound up? Yes, guys? Pop it up, Jimmy. Close your eyes and don't make scary stuff. So one thing you said that to me that was very interesting is one of your investors is the guy that's behind WordPress, and they're looking at this as doing a WordPress for motion media.
Yeah, I mean, WordPress, whenever we talk about WordPress, it's just so daunting. I think it's 17% of the internet now, as you guys probably
Every
know.
site I work for is on WordPress.
But Tony Schneider, who's Automatic, who's behind WordPress, is our investor at True Ventures. And I can't say enough great things about True Ventures. They're just a phenomenal team. But yeah, when we pitched him, we really said, that this is a bit like an image press. It's more like a visual press. It's more for visual reading.
So is that all in layers? How would
Yes,
one
it is.
build something like this?
Yeah,
like
it's
if I
in
wanted
layers.
to do one.
Yeah, it's in layers. Maybe if it's easiest, I can show you great, okay, there we go. So I'm going to pull up Dave Gibbons' story, which is called Treatment Tokyo. And one of the things we wanted to telegraph from the outset is that even the covers are kind of like windows that you dive into. So as I'm kind of playing with that, it immediately starts to respond to the gyro, which is totally useless, but quite
But
quite
you're
good
doing
fun.
it live there.
Yeah. Well, the idea is, something you want to dive through. And I said to Dave Gibbons, isn't that a bit gimmicky? And he said, comics are gimmicky. What are you worried about?
Yeah, the whole thing is gimmicky.
So there should be some sound on here, Jimmy, if you've got a bit of sound. Hopefully. Yeah? Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. But the idea is that, and you guys are just now opening up this API to developers,
Yeah.
and people create it like a PowerPoint presentation, but they can, and not just comics.
That's right. So
You can imagine training manuals, you can imagine coffee table books, I can imagine, there's a whole industry that we'll jump in on it that we won't talk about. Question in front,
Yeah.
Ari.
So what's the learning curve look like for writers, and what languages can they use your API with?
Did you say for buyers?
For writers.
For writers, yeah. Sorry, for creators, yeah. The learning curve has been great. I mean, it's not quite as simple as Keynote, but it's very close. So the question about layers, we wanted to build a publishing environment, browser-based, where you're dragging visual files on, you're dragging layered Photoshop files or whatever, and you're writing and adding text in there, so it's all live text. So we can hot link in text, we can create links in image and so on, and then you hit publish, and it comes down to the Madefire app. So in terms of a learning curve, it's swift. It's really swift.
You
And
don't need to know any programming.
no programming, no Maya, no After Effects, no 3D, no SketchUp, nothing
Yeah, the
like that.
designer's sitting right there, and he's saying, no. It's all on
No.
Objective-C. It should be very easy. And the
Yep.
API, and right now it's a limited alpha. Not everybody can join it.
Yeah, we have quite a few people using the tools already, and we're now rolling it out in phases. So there's a sign up, and we'll get you on as quick as we can on madefire.com.
I mean, there are a lot of writers who'd love to publish
it's been
books in
really-
a new format.
It's been really exciting. We're looking at writers have talked about it being a freedom, because with the access of time and touch and a certain amount of sound and movement, you can bring a lot of punctuation to the narrative, a lot of punctuation to the story. But we're really trying to make sure that we don't stray into animation in a sense of watching, that everything is triggered and a reading experience.
All right, you have 1 minute. Question from the audience?
Is the sound not coming on?
Does
Jim?
everybody understand it?
No sound. Okay. Well, I just taught you through. If we can pull up the iPad for a second.
Yeah, if you could hit over to the Alma.
So I'm just going to take you through to a sequence here, and it is a reading experience. So can you see? I'm sort of looking at a panel type.
Yeah, it's
situation.
kind of hard to read, but we see there's.
This is the final face-off in Dave's story between a Yakuza mob member and this future task force called Treatment. So we get this kind of punctuated clash between this Yakuza guy and the Treatment guy. And as we go forward, we get into the sort of final reveal. And what's interesting is rather than reading top left to bottom right, our biggest country's become China, which is, and we're only in English at the moment. But it's interesting, as you can start to use the page and you can start to reveal across time, touch, sound, and movement, you really don't need to be stuck to a lot of the print tenets, the kind of top left, bottom right, and so on.
Yeah,
So it's kind of a new grammar. Dave talks about it as a new grammar, and we talk about it a lot. This is a new grammar for books.
It's interesting from that standpoint because it's not text, it's not video, it's not animation. It's like layers of stuff
Yeah, it's
that moves. I mean, I don't know that there's a word for it except for the word
well,
you've given
motion
it.
books, of course.
Motion books.
Yeah.
The Kleenex of. I mean, are you protecting this somehow? I mean, or
Actually, we've taken a really open approach. We want the tools to be open. We want the app is free. The books, as far as we can maintain it, are free. Creators can set a price point, but we really want to be, you know, at the point where the new myths of the 21st century are being written. There's
The new
stuff's too-
mist, I
The
remember.
new myths. Yeah,
Oh,
the new
sorry.
myths. Must,
But it
must be
looks
my
like
English
mist
accent.
from Broderbund to me.
The new
Showing
mist of the
my
20th
age
century.
there. Yeah.
So the goal is really just to give the tools to creators and hope that they really, you know, do something special.
Yeah, it's neat stuff. You've got 30 seconds exactly.
I'll dip you into one more book here, if we can.
How many
go to the
titles do you have
screen.
total?
I think we're 11 stories at the moment, and we're dropping stories in weekly, and it's from some of the most exciting creators in the world.
They're
like
whispering
writers and artists.
16 in the front, yeah.
And
All right, question from Cindy?
Artwork.
Artwork.
Are you providing artwork, or does that?
How do writers get their artwork in there? That's a great question.
so the art's created by the creators, and then what we've built is the tool that will put the art, the text, and the kind of all the animation effects, transitions, and you know that full up to the cloud, down to the reader.
So
type
think
thing.
of it like PowerPoint. You know,
Yes, exactly.
You put
yeah.
your own art
So we're
in.
not trying to replace Photoshop. We're saying, you know, that people have their workflow, and we just want to
question
build the
from
book.
Eddie.
Yeah.
You have the potential to partner up with companies that have IPs, let's say like video games and stuff, and maybe make
Yeah.
some side projects that integrate with their video.
Yeah, do a World of Warcraft
Absolutely.
partnership or something.
It's
That'd be cool.
It's exactly where we're at right now. We're now across all of iOS, and our goal's been to really concentrate on a great reading experience. The feedback's been amazing, so now we're talking to publishers and anyone who wants to create content, whether it be IP, you know, big IP, or whether it be homegrown, you know, experimental stuff. It's open, the tool's open to publishers, as well as, you know, someone who's never been published before, who's just playing around.
All right. Does the audience want to ask another question? I feel bad because the sound isn't working.
This moment's quite good fun, artwork-wise, in mono, which is one of the stories. And actually, everyone's really established creators apart from me. This is one I drew, but I had a lot of fun doing it. I don't know if Jimmy can put it up quickly. So we're in
Can you guys see it?
German-occupied France, World War II. It's a flashback. We joined this character called Mono, and the Germans are raising the city looking for him. And as we go forward, he's writing in his journal about, you know, it's been a rough day. And as we go forward, I'm just going to get it in the right
Oh,
orientation.
that's cool.
We basically, it's kind of a double-page spread, but we can explore it in the same way that they're exploring the city looking for him. So this is,
someone doing a kid's book or somebody wanting to.
yeah, we're going to talk later, aren't we?
You two should meet.
Yeah, great minds.
call
Yeah,
me?
and there we go. So it's really layered files, to someone's point. It's layered files and it's flat layers. So it's really about making the most out of flat layered files.
When will the app developers in this audience and the writers like me get access to this beta program?
You can sign up.
Sign up at where?
Yeah.
Madefire.com?
Madefire.com.
And
we'll
this is
log you in.
available now. The titles are available now.
All of this is live. We launched for iPad in June, and it's across all of iOS. As of 2 weeks ago, we're on iPhone, we're on iPad mini, etc. So iOS, and the tool login is browser-based. So please have a crack. Have a
Alright.
crack at this in the tool, and please download the app.
All right, that may be the first time that anyone here has seen such a cool app. That's Madefire. That's Ben Wolstenholme. His
you very much.
partner Liam from Marvel Comics. Very cool.